After the Phillies moved Taijuan Walker back into the rotation after coming off a shoulder injury, fans were less than pleased with the decision. Spencer Turnbull was holding down the fort as the fifth starter in Walker's absence, and not only did he fill the spot nicely, he excelled. Walker, on the other hand, has struggled since his return, begging the question, did the Phillies make a mistake with putting Taijuan Walker back into the rotation and moving Spencer Turnbull to the bullpen? I will answer that question in this video. Make sure to like the video if you like the Phillies and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all things Philly sports. I break down the 4 major sports teams in Philadelphia, so consider subscribing if this sounds like the channel for you. Spencer Turnbull gave up a total of 6 earned runs in 32 1/3 innings as a starter. After he was moved to the bullpen, he has given up 7 earned runs in 9 innings. He was ripped out of the rotation and lost the groove that he was in since the start of the season. Taijuan Walker, on the other hand, has been miserable and disappointing to watch every night he takes the mound. In 32 2/3 innings pitched this season, Walker has given up 20 earned runs, 14 more than Turnbull gave up in a similar duration in the rotation. His ERA is up to 5.51 and his WHIP is in an awful 1.59. Turnbull, on the other hand, had an ERA of 1.67 and a 0.84 WHIP in the rotation. There was no reason for Rob Thomson and the Phillies to rip Spencer Turnbull out of the rotation in place of Taijuan Walker, who hasn't proved anything since joining the Phillies on that hefty contract. Speaking of that contract, Walker signed with the Phillies for 4 years, $72 million back before the 2023 season, and it has looked like an ugly one since. Since joining the Phillies, Walker has come nowhere near the pitcher he once was, even being deemed as a non-reliable 5 starter. Phillies fans, including myself, believe that his contract is the reason he is getting priority in the rotation, which that just shouldn't be the case. If you are not performing, especially on baseball's best team, you shouldn't play. I'm now going to switch to Turnbull for a moment. Arguments for Turnbull leaving the rotation is that he's on an innings limit, as he hasn't pitched more than 100 innings in a season since 2019. While that could be the case, Turnbull has shown zero sign of fatigue as a starter this season. If anything, the Phillies are hurting him more by ripping him out of the rotation, messing with the routine he had been going since the beginning of the season. I am so sick and tired of hearing that veteran pitchers can't pitch a certain number of innings. Back then, guys threw whenever they were called upon and didn't need all these crazy restrictions or limitations. I bet if you would ask Turnbull, he would say he doesn't need an innings restriction because he would just go out and pitch whenever the team needs him to. Back to Walker, he just isn't that guy anymore. He is one of the absolute worst Baseball Savant pages that I have ever seen, and Baseball Savant is pretty spot on with their marks. Spencer Turnbull, on the other hand, has a Baseball Savant page miles better than that of Walker's. In the next few weeks, we should really begin to see what Taijuan Walker is made of and see if he is actually built for the Phillies rotation. I don't think he is, and if it was my decision, he would be moved to the bullpen, but that's not my decision to make. My main question is, hasn't Rob Thomson already seen enough of Walker? He has had 6 starts, only pitching remotely well in his start against Miami, who is a bottom offense in the game. Turnbull finally found his groove in the majors, only to be stripped away for the garbage we have to watch from Taijuan Walker. I really hope that Thomson switches Turnbull back because it's getting hard to watch as a Phillies fan. The Phillies made a huge mistake with Taijuan Walker. He should never have been allowed back into the rotation, and Spencer Turnbull never should have been taken out. There's a reason they didn't go to Walker in the playoffs last year, and that's because he's not a good pitcher anymore. Turnbull was electric to start the season, and since being moved into the bullpen, he has struggled. This is because he had to completely change what he was doing, going from starting every 5th day to being ready to pitch any given night. The Phillies have to make this one right, and in order to do so, get Taijuan Walker out of the rotation and put Turnbull back in where he belongs. If you like this video and enjoy watching the Phillies, leave a like on this video to help get this one out there. Consider subscribing if you want to stay up to date with all my Phillies content and all things Philly sports. Comment what you guys think about Taijuan Walker in the rotation and what other videos you guys want to see on the Phillies. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.